Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I will be doing a refill today. This set is 2 weeks and 2 days old. There was the picture right there. You saw how they looked before, and this is what they look like now. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram also. So yeah, we're just removing all of the polish, the gel polish to be exact, off of the acrylic set that she has. And I'm using a medium drill bit to remove all the polish. And here I believe I had changed the drill bit, but I don't think this was a coarse drill bit. I think it's getting a little bit old and I need to order some new ones because I think the medium one was working a little bit better than the new one, than the coarse drill bit, meaning I think the medium one was a little newer than this coarse older one. If that makes any sense, I hope you guys understand what I mean. So yeah, I do need to order new bits because once you put wear into them, they don't work as well as when they were new. Alright, so you just want to make sure you're removing all of that polish. This is actually her second hand that I'm doing. I finished the other one. When I removed the polish, I did notice on one of the thumbs, I don't know if it's this one of them had a significant amount of lifting on the corner, so you're gonna see me remove that lifting, and I was very careful because this is not a safety bit where it's round at the top or at the bottom. So it's right there, so I'm trying to like get under there and remove all of that, because when you see like air under there or you see it kind of white on the surface, that means that it has lifted up. If you really like look closely, you can see that part right there where I'm going around. That's where the lifting is, and that's where I had to pay more attention to, just to make sure that's off, because if you're going to do a refill and you don't remove the lifting, the nail is going to eventually come off and you basically are showing not a good job doing the set. So it's kind of like you're giving them a refill for no reason if you don't properly remove all that lifting, you know what I mean? So you just want to make sure you remove all of that before you proceed to applying the acrylic where the nail has grown out. Also, you want to be really careful if you're using just one of these regular carbide bits, because you could cut them if you're not careful, because this is really close to the cuticle and you just really want to prevent the cutting. You know, you don't want to cause any discomfort. I understand it does happen sometimes, but let's not try to make it a habit, because those types of things really shouldn't happen as often as they do in those chop shops, you know what I mean? Because I get a lot of clients that say like they go to those other like nail salons and they get cut. So anyways, here I'm just going under the nail after I removed all the polish to kind of like reshape under, because sometimes that like the curve of it at the bottom starts being distorted too after wear of the nails. And then here I am just removing extra product on top to make it a little more smoother before my application, and making sure I am removing any little lifting that I do see as well. And she did have one nail that came off in between those 2 weeks, so that now we're going to apply another tip and do a whole application on that nail. So even if you feel like you've already removed everything off of the grown out part, I just go back and just make sure that I remove the lifting. And if I have any, you know, doubt like, oh, maybe I forgot something, I just go back and do it just to be safe. And here I am just refiling the nails into shape, because they do lose their shape as they wear their nails for longer periods. So yeah, we're just gonna try to reshape them back into the coffin shape that she had them. And then I guess this one I wanted to go under it because it wasn't formed the way it should be. Like I said, they do lose their shape even under the nail. And then, you know, you're trying to remove everything off the corners as well. in case there's any lifting there. Okay, so I'm gonna push back the cuticles with my cuticle pusher, and we're just gonna make sure that we push back really well, because we're gonna be filing all that new nail that's grown out, because we will be filing it with a fine sanding band. So we want to make sure we get enough of that space to file off. So now I'm just gonna start filing the free edge of that nail that had came off, and we're gonna start filing the surface of the nail, removing all the shine so that the acrylic can stick onto it really well. And I'm using a fine sanding band, and we're just gonna go all through the growth of the nails that have grown out before the fill application with the acrylic, making sure we remove all that shine, of course. So now we're just gonna dust off the nails, make sure all that dust is gone. And we're gonna reapply a tip on the nail that's missing a nail, obviously. And then I'm just gonna apply my glue on the well of the tip and apply the nail tip onto the nail. And there was like a little missing glue there, so I had to reapply some glue there. All right, and this glue is pretty good. It's from Sally's. Really like it. Okay, I'm just measuring to make sure they're the same as the other one. And you guys, I didn't notice until after that the tips that I had applied to her before were actually clear tips, and this is a natural tip, so it is gonna look a little different than the others, but that's okay because I had to apply polish over it, so you can't really tell. It's the little mistakes that we do, but it's not the end of the world. It'll be fine. Okay, so here I'm just applying dehydrator to all the nails, just to make sure if she has any oils on her natural nail or anything, we can get rid of that, because the acrylic will lift off if there's any natural oils or any oils on the nail. And here I'm applying the Protein Bond by Young Nails. So Protein Bond is what I use for a primer, and the ASP I use for a dehydrator. Usually I do use OPI dehydrator, but I ran out, so I had to go and get the ASP dehydrator. Okay, so we're starting the application. I just try to get as close to the cuticle but without touching it, and if it does, I just clean up around the cuticle area to make sure that none of the acrylic is stuck to the cuticle, because that will cause lifting and that will give you a lot of problems, which is the big issue that I had in the beginning when I started learning how to to do nails. And to be honest with you guys, I've been licensed since 2014 for 4 years, and because of me not being consistent with learning and practicing, it was really hard for me to figure out why I'm getting lifting and why the nails just don't stick, and how do I apply the acrylic properly towards the cuticle area without flooding it with a bunch of like acrylic. But now I feel like because of the practice, because of the tools I've been using, I've been doing really well, and that's been helping me. So your tools really do help you with your work. Also, because I know this is a big question a lot of people ask when they ask like, oh well, how long did it take you? And honestly, I'm still trying to perfect my application, but because of the way I see it, I've been doing so much better, and it's because I've been really consistent for the past, I want to say 4 months than ever, really. So I want to say, as long as you're being consistent and you're practicing every single day, or at least every other day, or a couple times a week, you're gonna get it eventually. You got to do research, you gotta you gotta watch videos. That's what I used to do to help me out. So that's why I'm really hoping my videos will help somebody out with whatever I can, with any ideas, with any inside things that I've had, like problems, and how I solved them, or what problem I was having, what problems I was having, and how I found a solution to it. But yeah, so I really hope at least my videos help in the littlest way. But yeah, just keep trying, keep practicing, and you'll see that being consistent is really going to help you in this world of nails to be better, and just like not getting frustrated, because it's not something you're going to learn overnight. You're going to have to practice to get it where you want to be. So yeah, my point is basically, I think if I would have just put like my all into it in the beginning, I would have probably got it down packed within a year or so. So it's taken me 4 years to try to get me where I'm at, because there's so much to learn. There's like techniques, not just the application, there's the prep, there's nail art and things like that, but just do little things here and there. You don't have to know all the nail art, like, oh, this person does this and that, I don't do that. Just do one thing at a time, and little by little add things to what type of nail art you can do for your clients. You'll be surprised how patient people are with you, actually. Okay, so here I'm just going to start. Okay, so after I did the application of the refill of the acrylic on the area that's grown out, I am just taking my medium bit and just removing any like lumpy parts. But like I said, my application's gotten better. There's not much to file. Hopefully I'll get to the point where I barely have to file anything but the cuticle area. A lot of people, that's why they save so much time, is because they're only focusing on the cuticle area and like drilling just a little bit of the surface, because their application is that good. That's my goal. So I'm pretty sure we all have that goal. But if you guys were wondering why some people take longer, that's really one of the reasons. So yeah, you want to focus on the drilling around the cuticle area, that there's no acrylic touching the skin. So the best way I can describe that is you don't want you kind of want like a space where you can see your natural nail. So you want to be able to see like your cuticle, then your natural nail, and then where the acrylic starts. If you can't see where the acrylic starts, then that means your application was too close to the cuticle, and you may get lifting because it's touching the skin. So you guys see how I'm holding her thumb? This is the most comfortable way for me and the client, the way I'm holding her thumb here, for me to drill it properly, because if I can't hold it like this, I really feel like I can't get in those corners, and I feel like I can't really see what I'm doing. So this is like the best angle to angle her hand so I can drill it properly around the whole cuticle area and the whole, basically the whole nail also. So yeah, it's just more comfortable for you and the client, so just remember that. Also, before I forget to mention, try not to, if you still are having like if you're still not done filing the whole cuticle area because you still don't see like where the acrylic is starting, because you haven't drilled off enough for it not to be sticking. So like you don't want to keep going on the same surface. Like here, you want to just drill off a little bit on that surface and then move back to the cuticle area and then back to the surface, so you don't burn or make indentations on their nail, because it does turn hot, and when it gets too hot it can hurt your client's nail bed, and you will leave red lines, red marks called rings of fire, and it's painful. And then by the time the nails grow out, then by the time you take off the acrylic, you can see all of those indentations and you can see all of those rings of fire, and it just hurts the client. So yeah, so here we're just filing the surface with a hand file, because I just feel more comfortable on short nails to do this. It just depends on my mood and my time, and I had a little extra time, so I just decided to use my hand file to file the surface. But since I did just file the surface, I really didn't have to do this part. I just wanted to kind of make it as smooth as I could. But yeah, if not, I sometimes use like a fine drill bit, like I did to remove the shine off the nail. Not a fine drill bit, but a fine sanding band. Okay, so now with my orange and black little mini buffer, I'm just here just buffing the surface of the nail, smoothing it out as much as possible, because it's important to have that smooth finish so that when you apply your gel polish or any polish, it has a nice smooth finish as well. Or if not, it's gonna look all nasty and lumpy, and we don't want any of that, of course. And in case any of you guys were wondering, the files that I use are the white zebra files that I also get on eBay. They're 100/180 files. think they're like $13 for a pack of 50, which is a great deal. All right, so here I'm applying my first layer of polish, and this color is an Essie gel polish color. Like I've said before, I have a lot of them. They are a little translucent, but some of them have nice finishes, so some of them it doesn't matter, kind of like this polish. But sometimes the darker ones are the ones that are a little too translucent. But this is a really color since fall is coming up. So yeah, we're just doing the first layer, and we're capping them on the free edge before we put a lamp, and they are going to go in the lamp for 60, well, not 60 seconds. They're going to go in the lamp for 30 seconds in my LED lamp. If you have a UV lamp, go ahead and put it in for 60 seconds. Okay, so this is the other hand, and I'm putting my first layer of polish too. And remember that if you get any polish around the cuticle area, use your cleanup brush to remove any polish so that there is none stuck to the skin, because it's going to make it lift right off the color. The color is going to lift right off. So here's the second coat on the first hand, and the color is starting to show really nicely. And the brush that I'm using is a brush you can get at Sally's. I think they're like $7. I'm not really sure. It's been a while. But they are like a French brush, so if you want to do French kind of type of nail, you can, and it just cleans it right up. So it's like a cleanup brush slash French brush. Okay, so now we're going to do stone application, and she's just going to get a simple design with the stones. I'm basically doing a big stone in the middle and two like rose gold stones, smaller stones on the sides, one on each side. And she didn't want to get any stones at all, so I kind of like tugged her into it. She's like, well, at least one on each middle finger. And then she liked it so much, she said she wanted it on all of them. So yeah. So basically she got a design on each nail. So that's when you're gonna see me go back on the other hand, or just start applying more designs on the other nails. And I am using the glue that I'm using is basically by Mia's Secret. It's gel resin and it dries really slow, but I have the activator spray that dries it instantly basically and freezes these stones into place and makes it really difficult for them to be removed. So I personally love the glue. Here I am just doing the pinky though. I'm gonna just do one AB stone on the pinky so that it doesn't look kind of crazy, but I mean, I'm sure it wouldn't have looked bad if I would have added the rose gold on the sides, but that's what she wanted, so you know, the clients get what they want, of course. And yeah, the little wax pencil that I'm using, my pencil broke, but I do have another one. I was just like, I didn't have time to sharpen it. It was brand new, so I actually got to sharpen that just to have it ready for my next set. But either way, it worked just fine, so it was okay. I'm doing the exact same thing on the big one. I'm just gonna use like a stone that's a little bit bigger since it is the thumb, just so it can show. Obviously on my nails I have nothing. It makes me so sad. I have not yet done my nails and it's been a couple of days, so watch out for that video coming out with my new set of nails. I'll show you guys how I do that. Okay, I just sprayed it with activator spray, if you guys caught that. The Mia Secret activator spray that you use after the resin, the gel resin. And here I am just applying the top coat, and it is non-cleanse, so you don't have to wipe it with alcohol afterwards. And I am applying the top coat on top of the stones only because she has a hard time keeping her stones. Yes, it does destroy the stones a little bit, not too much, but there is a difference when you don't apply it on top of the stones. So if you don't want to destroy any of that shine, don't put it on top of the stones. But if you do have clients that they lose their stones easily, I would secure the stones by applying the polish on top, the top coat. And here is the finished product. I hope you guys really like them. Please subscribe to my channel and don't forget to go to my Instagram and follow me, guys. Thank you guys for watching. Love you. Bye bye.